Many Nigerians will run to Portugal, run to Germany, run to France because there's an opportunity. Maybe there's a conference and somebody puts your name down and then you run to this country. But you can't speak the language. I told you guys how when I traveled 25 years ago, I first got to a Portuguese country. I couldn't get a job even with all the skills I have, right? Because I didn't speak the language, right? I had to go to school to learn the language, right? So many Nigerians are not even prepared to go to school. So they keep struggling and they can't get jobs and they end up, wasting valuable time in this country, is not being able to make a good living, right? So my number one advice is before you leave this country, research the country that you want to go to.
Okay.
If you go to internet today, you see a lot of people saying, come to South Korea, there's work in South Korea. Come to Japan, there's work in Japan. We can help you get the visas. Even if it's true that they can help you get the visas, what kind of work are you taking to that country? Ask yourself, what skills do I have? Right? Yeah. And so even if I have good skills, am I going to be able to communicate in the workplace? And so if your answer is no to that question, don't go there, right? Find an English speaking country where if you land today, you can start speaking English today. You can start communicating with people. It's absolutely very, very important, right? But we encourage you to travel. It's just that we're asking you to do it correctly, right? There are so many countries that you can go to, and I'm going to give you a list of them. And there are many different ways to get to these countries. We are encouraging you to travel because of how the Nigerian economy is. Perhaps by traveling, you can actually support your family and send them money. And of course, that will contribute to Nigeria's GDP. There are no jobs here anymore for a lot of graduates, right? So do what China is doing. China is encouraging its people to not just travel overseas, but to export Chinese businesses. That's what I love about the Chinese system. They are traveling all over the world. Go to the Caribbean. Chinese are taking over businesses, commerce, trade, all over in the Caribbean, right? And I can tell you now that a country like Jamaica is going to be, if China is ever going to have a colony outside, somewhere in the world, Jamaica is probably going to be one of those ones, and many other Caribbean countries, because the Chinese investments are littered in the Caribbean, right? All the major hotels in Jamaica are owned by the Chinese. All the major industries, factories are in Jamaica are owned by the Chinese. Go around to Suriname, go to Barbados, go to St. Vincent and Kitts, St. Vincent and St. Kitts and Nevis, go to St. Vincent. It's all Chinese businesses littered all over the place. And that's because the Chinese government realizing that they have 1.4 billion people and there's not enough space in China, to house the old population and the growing population as a result of new births, right? Are encouraging their people and actually giving them funding to go set up businesses overseas. So this is what we want Nigerians to do. If you're going overseas, make sure you're going overseas to go to school. That is to say that when you are done with school, you'll be able to get a job, earn money and send money back home, or even set up a business overseas, right? Okay. Now, if you're not going to school, make sure you're going to trade, right? And of course,